And we are taking you live now to the electorate of Farrer. We've just seen the One Nation leader, Pauline Hanson, flying in on her new multi-million-dollar private jet supplied by donors. She's speaking to the media now.
For the people.
Michelle Milthorpe says there have been a lot of questions raised about her funding, but there's someone flying around in a $1 million plane. You're quite proud of that, aren't you?
I'm very proud of it. Is there any reason why I shouldn't? I was up front right from the beginning. Where the money came from, who donated it, I haven't needed anything. I've always been up front.
A lot of small business owners, especially here in Albury, have said that the main four candidates don't have a lot in the way of policies for small business owners. I mean, what can those who are still undecided, what can One Nation do for them in terms of in that regard?
Small businesses have been forgotten for for a long time. There's about 50,000 small businesses gone under insolvent. A lot of it's been driven by the cost of living and also by regulations by not only local, state and also federal governments, the regulations that are imposed on them. And one of the biggest ones is also your cost of electricity. So they can't afford it anymore. So you've got a combination of increased land taxes, regulations, cost of living, electricity costs, and the industrial relations laws is another thing as well. So it's a combination of many, many things, and I don't believe the major political parties have really sat down and listened to small business and to hear what their issues are. We can't keep driving them into the ground.
Senator Hanson, your party's a hot favourite to win this weekend, and it would be your first win in the lower house, a historic moment.
Yeah.
Are you confident that Mr Farley will be able to hold on to that seat for you until the next election?
I have no doubt about it whatsoever. I know that David Farley, we've had many a talk. I've been on the hustings with him. I've walked around with him. I've listened to him, what he says. And I see him as a dedicated man that really wants to represent this community. He's been a businessman. He's across wide areas that I think he would bring a lot of benefit to for the people here, but also to the floor of Parliament.
Would you change the party?
Allegiances were the source of a scuffle down the polls yesterday, which you've addressed. Are you concerned that record will continue to follow him and you?
Sorry, can you just repeat that, what you've just said then?
His previous political allegiances were the source of a scuffle yesterday on the polls. Are you concerned that will continue to trail both him and you throughout his time in politics?
No, I don't. I'm standing by my volunteer in that whole scuffle. You know, when I first heard about it, I was just about to go on air with Chris Kenny and I didn't get the full story. Since then, I've been able to watch the full video clip of it, and I feel for my volunteer. Look, I take my hat off to all volunteers, regardless what political party you're out there trying to represent. And it's a tough game. I remember my father telling me years ago, politics is a dirty game. Well, haven't I seen the dirty politics come out, especially in this election? And you know what? People are fed up with it. Absolutely fed up, as I am. Because the people are screaming out for change. They don't give a damn about the politicians. They really don't. It's about representing the people. That's what they want. And these gutter politics that's going on at the moment, you know what people want? They want change from the Labor and the Greens and the Teals. They want the Conservatives to work together. But all I see is this backhanded having a go, and it's not working. I don't do it. I don't get in the gutter like these other politicians do. The people don't want it. They won't get it from One Nation. But I tell you, I'm going to meet that volunteer and I'm going to shake his hand and I'm going to stand by him.
You've hinted yourself at your own lower house tilt in the next election. Do you see this by-election as a bit of a test run for yourself potentially running down there in the future?
No, I haven't looked at it from that point of view at all. So it's a test run for every other sitting lower house member in this country.
Just in relation to small business, there was a local hotel that had their party booked in terms of your election party, and they're saying that they feel as though they've been let down by not having the booking with their hotel after having worked on it for weeks. What's your message to them?
Look, I've only just basically heard about that in the last couple of hours. I haven't had a chance to speak to anyone with regards to it. my understanding is that there was some sort of a verbal agreement, and then it was actually changed, and the cost of it was actually completely blown out to what the original statement was. And so therefore, until I get further information with regard to that, and I think what was originally quoted is not what we were then finally told. So it's something I have to follow up with that and see who was actually involved in that. And I've been in small business before, and I can quite understand if you've had an agreement, you know, they do go to a lot of work, and if that be the case, I do feel sorry for the venue if they've had to do anything, buying food or get staff and anything like that. But anyway, I'm yet to find out.
Well, they were saying they were just notified on Tuesday, so they're feeling as though only 4 days' notice has left them with stock and so on, and obviously plan to have the hotel occupied fully by...
Pauline Hanson just walked straight into a media firestorm. And from the very first question about her private jet, the tone was set. Critics tried to corner her over donor-funded travel, but instead of backing down, she doubled down, confidently stating she has nothing to hide and insisting transparency has always been her position. But the real pressure came when the conversation shifted away from the jet and toward Australia's collapsing small business sector. With thousands of businesses shutting down, rising electricity costs, land taxes, and heavy regulation crushing local owners, Hanson used the moment to launch a full-scale attack on the major parties, accusing them of ignoring the very people they claim to represent. What made the exchange explosive was her unwavering backing of David Farley, as she shut down doubts about his political past and framed him as a grounded, business-minded candidate who understands real community struggles. Even when pressed on political controversies and past incidents, she refused to step back, reinforcing her message of loyalty and resistance to what she calls dirty politics. As questions escalated about campaign logistics and public backlash, Hanson stayed firm, repeatedly redirecting the focus back to cost of living pain, regulatory pressure, and the survival of small businesses, painting a picture of a system she believes is broken at every level. By the end of the exchange, the message was clear. This wasn't just about a by-election or a plane, it was about a political system under pressure, a voter base demanding change, and a leader positioning herself as the voice of those who feel ignored. Drop a comment. Do you think this is real accountability or just political theatre? Pauline Hanson walked straight into a heated media exchange as questions about her donor-funded private jet set the tone from the beginning. Instead of backing down, she defended herself strongly, saying she has always been transparent about funding and sees no issue with it. The discussion quickly shifted to Australia's struggling small business sector, where she highlighted rising insolvencies, high electricity costs, increasing taxes, and heavy government regulations as the main reasons many businesses are collapsing. She used the moment to sharply criticize major political parties, accusing them of ignoring small business owners and failing to address real economic pressures. Hanson then firmly backed David Farley, describing him as a committed candidate with strong business experience who understands community needs. Even when pressed on political controversies and past allegations, she maintained confidence and rejected claims that they would damage his credibility. As the exchange continued, she repeatedly returned to the same message, that everyday Australians are suffering due to poor policy decisions and lack of proper representation. She positioned One Nation as the party focused on real-world issues rather than political games. By the end of the interview, the focus had shifted from personal scrutiny to broader political criticism, with Hanson reinforcing her stance against what she calls establishment failure and disconnect from ordinary people. The debate highlighted ongoing tensions between media questioning and political defense, leaving viewers divided on whether this was accountability or political theatre.